For thousands of years, humanity has measured greatness by what it built. The pyramids rose above the Egyptian desert. The Great Wall stretched across mountains. Persepolis stood as the ceremonial heart of an empire. Yet some of history's greatest achievements were never monuments, they were connections. Long before container ships crossed oceans or aircrafts linked continents, an invisible network connected the greatest civilization on Earth. It crossed freezing mountains and scorching deserts. For merchants, every journey carried enormous risks. A broken wheel, a dry well, or a bandit attack could destroy months of work. Yet, generation after generation continued traveling because what waited at the end of the journey was worth the risk. Silk, spices, gold, ideas, technology. Today, we call this network the Silk Road, but it was never a single road. It was humanity's first truly international transportation network. And hidden behind these successes was one remarkable architectural invention that quietly solved one of the greatest logistical challenges in human history, the Caravanserai. Hi everyone, I am Leila and welcome to Architecture Journal, where we uncover the hidden stories behind history's greatest architectural masterpieces. If you love exploring how ancient engineering shaped our world, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now let's dive into how this epic network began. Trade is older than written history, but early exchanges were small, slow, and disconnected. Over time, however, travelers repeatedly chose the safest valleys, the easiest mountain passes, and the rivers with reliable water. A trail became a road, regional roads merged. No emperor designed this network. Like a river finding its course, commerce gradually discovered the most efficient path across Eurasia. Curiously, the people who traveled these routes never called them the Silk Road. The name was introduced only in 1877 by a German geographer. He chose silk because Roman elites paid enormous sums to wear it. Yet the Silk Road carried much more: paper, gunpowder, precious metals, works of philosophy, and astronomical knowledge. Ideas often traveled further than merchandise. If you place a map of Eurasia in front of you, one fact becomes immediately obvious. Almost every major land road connecting east and west passes through the Iranian plateau. Persian rulers understood this advantage better than anyone. From the Achaemenids to the Safavid empires invested heavily in infrastructure because they understood a timeless principle. Prosperity follows infrastructure. Yet even the finest roads could not solve the greatest challenge. Every caravan eventually had to stop. Animals needed rest. Water had to be replenished. No resource mattered more than water. To survive in the harshest environments, Persian engineers relied on one of humanity's greatest hydraulic inventions, the qanat. These underground tunnels transported groundwater from mountains aquifers, keeping it cool and safe from evaporation. Water determined where infrastructure could exist, and where there was water, there was the caravanserai. Caravanserai literally means a house for caravans, but it was far more than an inn. It was a logistics center, a warehouse, a fortress, and a marketplace. Unlike royal palaces, caravansaries were not built to impress. Every element solved a problem. Thick exterior walls protected travelers from harsh weather. A single monumental interest allowed guards to control access. After sunset, massive wooden gates closed. No one entered, no one left. Inside, merchants could finally sleep, trusting that their fortunes were safe. Most impressively, these structures were built approximately 30 to 40 kilometers apart. The exact distance a loaded camel could comfortably travel in a single day. Ancient planners didn't ask travelers to travel farther. They brought the infrastructure closer to the traveler. Today, we call this network optimization. Building this network required what we now call project management. Hundreds of craftsmen had to be coordinated. Construction schedules changed with the seasons. Centuries before modern management theory, ancient builders mastered resource allocation and risk management to create an infrastructure capable of operating continuously for centuries. At its height, the Silk Road was supported by thousands of caravansaries stretching from East Asia to the Mediterranean. While many have vanished, the surviving ones show how architecture brilliantly adapted to different climates and cultures. Rawat Sharaf in Iran, hidden along the ancient road between Neshabur and Marv. This 12th century Seljuk masterpiece looks like a massive fortress from the outside. But inside, it is a caravan of intricate brickwork, elegant proportions, and sequential courtyards. It is a bold declaration that engineering and beauty can exist together. Zainuddin in Iran, near the desert city of Yaz, stands a rare completely circular caravanserai. Its unique geometry provided excellent visibility for guards, simple circulation, and equal access to every room around the central courtyard. A perfect marriage of form and function. Data-Gachin in Iran, often called the mother of Persian caravansaries, its foundations were laid over 15 centuries ago during the Sasanian Empire. It evolved and expanded over generations, proving that successful infrastructure doesn't just age, it adapts to serve new eras. Sultanhan in Turkey. Traveling west into Anatolia, the scale changes dramatically. Built in the 30th century by the Seljuk Sultanate of Rome for massive commercial caravans. Its vast courtyard features a stunning elevated mosque at its center, leading into a giant covered hall designed to shelter hundreds during the brutal Anatolian winters. Tashrabat in Kyrgyzstan, high in the freezing Tian Shan Mountains, stands an isolated, entirely stone-built caravanserai. Its thick walls and compact design were engineered to conserve warmth during long, deadly winters, reminding us of the extreme environments the Silk Road crossed. Though both were built during the golden age of the medieval period under the Seljuk Empire. A closer look at Rawat Sharaf in Iran and Sultanhan in Turkey reveals two completely different visions of ancient engineering. Historically, Rawat Sharaf was a royal state project in Greater Khorasan with high diplomatic importance, often serving as a luxurious refuge for royalty. Sultanhan, however, was built directly to power the massive international trade economy of the Anatolian Seljuks, acting as a sheer commercial engine. Architecturally, Rawat Sharaf is the absolute pinnacle of Persian finesse. It uses no stone or marble. Instead, simple clay bricks are transformed into mind-bending geometry, deep shadows, and intricate stucco art. It feels like stepping into a giant architectural miniature. Sultanhan, by contrast, is a symbol of raw power and scale. Its colossal stone portal, carved with deep currents, is meant to leave viewers in awe, prioritizing the imposing strength of massive masonry over delicate body ornamentation. In terms of layout, Rawat Sharaf utilizes the highly secure two-courtyard plan, an outer public courtyard and a highly guarded inner courtyard for elites. Sultanhan uses a massive longitudinal plan, an expensive open-air summer courtyard, leading straight into an enormous cavernous covered hall that feels like a Gothic cathedral designed to swallow entire caravans whole. Engineering-wise, both are load-bearing masterclasses that have survived centuries of earthquakes without a drop of steel. But they answer different environments. Rawat Sharaf's thick mud brick walls act as thermal mass, absorbing the scorching Iranian desert heat by day and releasing it into the freezing desert night. Sultan Han is built from heavy carved stone to withstand torrential rain and crushing snowloads, its vast covered hall serving as the ultimate fortress against freezing Anatolian blizzards. Managing robot Sharaf meant overseeing artistic quality control and the delicate coordination of master bricklayers. Sultan Han required project management on a heavy industrial scale. Its logistics system was so advanced that it provided free organized services to hundreds of travelers simultaneously, including blacksmiths, cobblers, doctors, and wagon repairs, ensuring the empire's street traffic never slowed down. Today, when we hear Silk Road, we imagine camels carrying spices. But the true achievement was never just movement of merchandise. It was the movement of civilization. Technologies evolved, religions spread, artistic styles blended, the Silk Road transformed isolation into connection, and quietly supporting that transformation stood thousands of caravansaries. They rarely appear in history books, but without them, countless journeys would never have been completed. Although the world has changed, the challenge remains exactly the same. How do we move people, goods, and ideas safely across vast distances? Modern supply chains answer this with seaports, airports, and distribution centers. 1,000 years ago, caravansaries answered the very same questions. Every remarkable building tells a story. Some tell the story of power, others tell the story of faith. But caravansaries tell the story of connection. They remind us that the strongest civilizations are not always those that build tallest monuments. They are the ones that create the strongest network. Thank you for joining me on this journey across one of history's greatest engineering achievements. If you enjoyed this exploration, consider subscribing for more stories where architecture reveals far more than stone and brick. Because every structure begins with an idea, and every idea has the power to shape the world. I am Leila, and this is the Architecture Journal. I will see you in the next one.